Hey everybody, it's Dr. William Clark here for Leadership Conversations. This is the show where we talk about leadership according to the world that matters to you. I hope you're doing well, and I hope that your 2019 is kicking off to be a prosperous year for you and your leadership and your business and etc. Now, I want to talk with you about something. And a lot of people think leaders don't need help. Leaders need help. And I think sometimes the mystique of leadership gives the impression that a leader doesn't need help, doesn't need assistance, doesn't need an outreached hand from members of his or her team or from folks who are perceived to be at a lower level than they are. And that's not true. Leaders are people too. And despite how they behave or how you perceive their behavior, if you will, leaders need help. And if you're listening to this and you're a leader, you know I'm telling the truth. You need help just as much as the next person. So I want to talk briefly about how to let people help you. Now, let's start here. Help is needed to advance a person or a situation to whatever is next. All right, that's kind of the premise of what help does and why we need it. And at the end of the day, if you need to go to another level or take the next step and you can't do it by yourself, then you need help from someone or something. So when you're embracing help from other people, it does take quite a bit of humility. I have to share that with you. And if you struggle with humility, if you struggle with some sense of a lack of transparency, then I'm going to encourage you to think about what it means to embrace and receive help. With that said, here are the tips for how to let people help you. Number one, embrace the interest of the person who's trying to help you. Now, people help for all types of reasons. They have all types of value statements, values, and beliefs as to why they need to help you. And I'm not suggesting that you need to totally buy into their values and why they feel the need to help you. But what I am saying and what I do want you to think about is sometimes the interests of people that do not align with you or their values are totally different than you, their help is just as important as the help of another person. Here's why. You may have been looking for help, but you may have been looking in the wrong direction or in the wrong place. And you might have been looking for that help from a certain type of person or from a certain type of place or support mechanism that you're used to. And it is those moments in life, those funny moments in life, when you realize the help you've been looking for comes from an unlikely source. And it's up to you to be open minded, to open up your spirit, to open up your thinking to say, man, I'm going to have to accept help from someone I didn't think I would have to accept help from. And they have different values and they have different interests and they have different this and different that from me. But embrace it. You might learn something important from them as a result of you taking on their help and embracing their interest. Number two, how to let people help you? Identify and accept their skill set. People have all types of skill sets, and obviously, if there's someone is going to help you get from one point to the next, you got to embrace and identify their skill set. You got to know what you're asking for. You got to know that what they're giving you is going to add significant value to what you're working on. So the skill set matters. How they do stuff matters because you don't want to accept people with skill sets that are not relevant, or you don't want to accept skill sets that do not get specifically at the situation or fix the situation you're trying to fix or address. Number three, how to let people help you. Deploy this person as a brand ambassador. Now, remember, this person may have different value systems. They may come from a different school of thought. They may have a skill set that you clearly don't have. Deploying them as a brand ambassador is a critical task because this person may have access to resources that are much broader than you, broader than your reach. broader than your experience, broader than what you can bring to the table. And because you're going outside of the realm of normal for you, this person could possibly expose you to opportunities that you would not have been exposed to prior to them coming on board to help you. So, as a result of them coming on board, don't be afraid to ask them to be a brand ambassador for you. Someone who's going to sell your story, who's going to help tell the story that you're trying to tell, who's going to help connect you to other resources, who's going to be the one that's saying, hey, you know what? I know so and so, and I'm assisting them with the project. And I think they may be able to add value to you because they do this. Sometimes business opportunities, doors that open for you, windows that open for you come from unlikely sources, from unlikely heroes that you didn't expect to be there for you. And if someone's going to help you and they come from a different place, deploy them as a brand ambassador. And this leads me to number 4: reap the rewards and manage the fruit of their labor, particularly if they're going to go out and sell on your behalf, if they're going to partially tell your story, especially if they're going to be the ones that's going to promote you and what you do. You now have the opportunity to reap the rewards of what it means to have someone helping you. I can't tell you enough how many times I've been blessed by people who've decided to help me, and the help has come from people I just didn't expect it to come from. And it's an amazing feeling. It's a humbling feeling, to be honest with you, but it's an amazing feeling to know that there are people who are willing to help you, who want to help you. And all I got to do is accept the help and embrace the help and humble myself to allow them to help me. Here's the last thing I'll share with you about how to let people help you. It's the most simplest thing on this list, but it's probably the most important thing on this list. And that is to say thank you. Thank you for helping me. Thank you for the time you invested in me. Thank you for your willingness to lend your skill set and your resources. Thank you for being a brand ambassador. Thank you for being different. Thank you for allowing me to grow by working with you. And thank you for allowing me to learn how to be humble as a leader. The thank you is a huge part. And if you think that you don't need to thank people who help you, try not thanking them and see what happens going forward. You'll see opportunities that were once open to you shrivel up. You'll see people who were once open to working with you go away. Thank you is a critical piece of the puzzle. And you got to say it often and mean it. I hope you find this helpful. I hope that you take away from this podcast how to let people help you, how to embrace help. Because you're going to need it in 2019. You're going to need people to help you get from point A to point B. Forget the New Year's resolutions. Forget I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. I'm getting ready to do X, Y, and Z. No, you can't do it by yourself. You need help. You need people to assist you. Open the door for people to help you. Allow people to help you, and you will see prosperous growth in your business, in your leadership, and in everything else that you put your hands to. Listen. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TV, Twitter, YouTube, and subscribe to this podcast utilizing your favorite podcasting platform. This is Dr. William Clark for Leadership Conversations, and I'll see you in the next show. Peace.